We've had problems with our electoral processes in Florida. Most recently, we had some well-documented problems. I always made the point, though, that we actually had the vast majority of our counties do a very good job. 65 of 67 were able to do it in accordance with the law. And so I think the problems that you saw in places like Broward and Palm Beach unfairly tarnished the entire image of the state. And one of the places where we've had consistently good operations has been in Seminole County, where Mike Ertel was the Supervisor of Elections for a number of years. He's now serving with distinction as Secretary of State. I think it's important to continue the good work of places like Seminole County. So today I'm going to be appointing to replace Secretary Ertel. Chris Anderson is here with us today. Chris is an Afghanistan war veteran. He's currently working as an investigator in Seminole County, and I'm confident that he has the leadership and the work ethic to pick up where Mike left off. If he could handle Afghanistan, I think he's going to be able to handle Supervisor of Elections. I also have an announcement to make with respect to Broward County. As we know, there were a lot of well-documented problems there. There's currently ongoing litigation between the state of Florida and Brenda Snipes. I am deciding to exercise my authority as governor to accept her resignation that she had previously tendered, which is effective January 4th. And so we're going to move beyond this controversy. I think the important thing is not to throw mud about what happened in the past, but let's get on a better footing and let's make sure this doesn't happen again in Broward County. And so effective today, I'll be signing an executive order. It ends the ongoing litigation. It'll save the taxpayers a lot of money, and Brenda Snipes' resignation will be accepted by my office. Obviously, Palm Beach County was the focus of a lot of problems in the aftermath of the election. And on January 17th, Secretary Ertel wrote me a letter outlining the failures that happened in Palm Beach County under the leadership of Supervisor Susan Bucher, and he recommended that I take the action to suspend her from office in order to right the ship here and make sure we have good elections. And I think it is true that throughout the voting process and the days after November 6, 2018, the elections office in Palm Beach County demonstrated on a national stage that they simply could not comply with the laws of the state and that Supervisor Bucher could not discharge the duties that she was supposed to discharge. And if you look at some of the problems, on November 6th and days after, the Palm Beach County office failed to report the number of ballots canvassed as required by Florida law and what other counties were able to do, including, I might add, Bay County, which a month before had been hit with a Category 5 hurricane. The office violated Florida law by failing to submit improperly completed ballots to the canvassing board. Supervisor Bucher also violated Florida law regarding voter intent determinations and regarding filling out duplicate ballots. And Palm Beach County did not complete the state-mandated recount until 50 days after the election. So an election that happened the week after Halloween, you ended up not having the recount done until after Christmas. No, Palm Beach County stands alone in that level of ineptitude. They've truly been the keystone cops of elected administration. And so I'm accepting Secretary Ertel's recommendation. We are issuing an order suspending Supervisor Bucher from her duties, and in her place, I'm appointing Wendy Link as the new Supervisor of Elections for Palm Beach County. She has more than 25 years of legal experience in private practice. She manages her own law firm. She has extensive experience in developing strategic initiatives, crisis management, and leadership development. She currently serves on 11 boards and/or commissions. She has a proven track record of public service. She's answering the call for public service, and she'll provide the leadership that's needed here in Palm Beach to restore faith in our elections. She does not plan to run for re-election. She is going to right the ship, run a smooth election in 2020, and then return to the private sector, and I think that that's the best way to go. What I want to see in 2020 is an election conducted in accordance with the law, that's transparent, and that is something that the people of Florida have faith in. We have hard-fought elections here, which is, I think, all the more reason why we need to get this right once and for all. So I want to introduce the two candidates that I've appointed today. So we're going to have Mr. Anderson say a few things, and we're going to have Wendy League say a few things.
First, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible. I'd like to thank Governor DeSantis for this incredible opportunity, and I'm honored to have his trust. To my wife, Ebony, simply put, you are my everything. Thank you for believing in me, for challenging me to be a better man. You made a lot of sacrifices for our family. And the kids and I are lucky and blessed to have you. To my children, Christopher, Christiana, and Christian, you are my best achievement. And being your father is the greatest honor I will ever receive. To my family, and I'm surprised that my grandmother has made it here from Dunellen, Florida, to see her oldest grandson. I share this moment with each of you. Although my father is no longer with us, I know he's thankful that he left me in the best hands. I have big shoes to fill as I acknowledge my predecessor and Florida's new Secretary of State, Michael Ortel. To the citizens of Seminole County, my message is simple. I understand my duty is to administer fair and impartial elections above all else. I will lead your elections office with ethical leadership, trust, integrity, and transparency will be our guiding principles as we accomplish our mission. The fact is, elections, they're political, but our work will be principled. I'm honored to join and lead America's finest election team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor DeSantis, Lieutenant Governor Nunes, Secretary Ortel, Supervisor Anderson, and honored guest today. Okay, sorry about that. I want to thank my family as well for being here. They have been, as always, there for me, supportive. These are tough things that we all take on, and I thank you all. I love you very much, and thank you for being here. Governor, I am honored today that you've asked me to serve my fellow citizens of Palm Beach County in this capacity. As you noted, I'm not seeking re-election or election to this office. My primary goal is that over the next 2 years, I'm going to ensure that Palm Beach County is well prepared for every election, that everyone in our county has the assurance and the sense of security that their vote will count. Over the next 2 years, I'm going to focus on conducting open, fair, and accurate elections for the citizens of our county. We'll work intelligently and efficiently to replace the voting equipment that's being decertified and ensure that everybody who's involved in our elections process operates with proper training, with professionalism, and with integrity. We're going to be impartial, nonpartisan in the way we conduct ourselves. We'll comply with all the laws and regulations. We'll work with our local and state partners to restore voter confidence. In fact, every voter's confidence in our elections process. I have a lot to learn. So I have a lot to learn, and I'm ready to get started. I look forward to listening, and we'll work with the leaders of the political parties to determine how we can better serve all citizens of Palm Beach County. We're going to work hard to earn the voters' trust and their respect, and we'll conduct all elections in the manner in which our county deserves. Few things are more foundational to our democracy than the ability to vote in an election that's open, fair, and transparent. Like all of you, I love the great state of Florida, particularly Palm Beach County for me. This is where my brothers and I grew up. It's where it's been my home most of my adult life. It's where I've raised my 3 beautiful sons, and my family has strong roots here as well. So it's critically important to me that all of the people in Palm Beach County have confidence in our ability to run smooth elections, and that the rest of the state and the nation has that confidence going forward as well. So thank you for the opportunity.
Take questions. George? Well, I identified some of them. You know, we had a recount that was mandated under state law that everyone's got to prepare for. And Palm Beach did it after Christmas, was something that was due like November 15th. I think during the time, like the workers were sent home, they weren't even doing it. And I think also you have a situation where a federal or a circuit judge here in Florida found willful violations of the law. For example, when there's a damaged ballot, you do have the ability to recreate those voting choices, but you got to do it with the observers present so that people have faith in what's going on. So I think that there were a train of problems, and I think it was not just there was a mistake here, a mistake there. It really tarnished the image of the state of Florida, and I think unfairly. And so I want to make sure it doesn't happen again, and I think Wendy will, she understands the problems, I think she can right the ship, and I think we can move forward. So, yes, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you're preparing for an election, it's your responsibility and duty to make sure that you can conduct that election. And so I think Wendy's going to be looking at that. I know she knows that that's an issue, but the time to do it is before the election happens and not end up in a situation where we had right now where it was just chaos and you had the whole country basically laughing at us.
Governor, you mentioned the election supervisor in Maytown. He accepted ballots by email, which is a clear violation of state law, right? He's not sending his ballot.
Well, but yes, I mean, but you also had Bay County get in there. They got in their returns on time. They also had to deal with the Category 5 hurricane. And so I think if you compare what Bay County did to Palm Beach, Bay did much better than Palm Beach did. And that's just the reality of the situation. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think that the Broward and Palm Beach really stood alone in some of the problems, and I think we just need to correct them. I would have wanted the recount to go like it went in Seminole and all these other counties. I mean, I would not have wanted the recount results to be done 50 days after the election. You know, that's just not the way it works. So, and I would have expected the elections department to follow Florida law. I think it's very important that you follow Florida law, and the judge said multiple times that that didn't happen.
One more question from reporters, please, from reporters.
Well, the legislation being outdated, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can't just say, I think this law is outdated, so I'm not going to follow it. That's just not the way it works. And I would note that everyone else, you know, except for Broward, was following it. So one example is, you know, the law requires us to know, not necessarily immediately who you voted for, but how many votes. Early vote, how many votes. On election day, within 30 minutes, how many votes. So there's a finite number of votes. It's done in a transparent way. And when that's not done, when you don't know how many votes were even cast the night of the election, the day after the election, then that causes people to say, you know, what's going on? And I think that they lose faith in how the system is operating. So I want the law followed. I want transparency. And I think if you do that, I think we'll be able to get the ship righted. And at the end of the day, 2020, you know, you're going to have local elections here, which are important. We'll have a statewide for ballot initiatives, the presidential race. I want it done open, transparent, accept the result, and we move on. But we cannot have another circus. Thank you.